Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of All Things Life and Sports with Kyilan Thomas. I'm your host. That's me, Kyilan Thomas. Let's get into it. My Jaguars are back on track. We demolished, I'm talking about straight demolished the Titans. They got them 2 scores late, garbage yard. We shouldn't have let it happen, but they got them late 34-14. Let's get into it. Trevor's back on track. The defense back on track. Calvin Ridley is him, at least for that game. Let's get into it. We're gonna get into them having to play the Texans for the first place AFC South game this coming Sunday. We're gonna get into the college football. Prayers to Graham Mertz, prayers to Jordan Travis. That's sad. We're gonna get into the AFC standings as a whole. We're gonna get into that Monday night football game, Chiefs versus Eagles. We're gonna get into some stuff, and then we're gonna do my fantasy football update. Y'all know I'm gonna update y'all on how my week went every week. So we're gonna get into it. All right, let's get into it. We're gonna start on my Jaguars. Back on track. I'm talking about came out. I wouldn't worry about them though. We've seen from last year this team can bounce back. It's the NFL. You're going to have bad days. Now, in order for us to take that next step, we can't have bad days like that at our home. But yeah, I knew we was good. I knew we was going to come out and destroy the Titans. I believe we're going to destroy the Texans as well. But before we get into that, let's get into my boy Trevor. 262 passing yards, 2 touchdowns passing, 2 rushing. First Jaguars quarterback to ever do that, which is shocking. I would have thought at least Garrard or Burnell or even Blake, I would have thought would have done that. And he had a rating of 119.5 yards. I get it. We was all on Trevor neck. I never said he was a bust. I don't think he's a bust, but I did say he needed to play better. We can say, he showed up. It was the Titans though. It was the Titans. We need to see it happen against the Chiefs, against the 49ers. That's when we need to see those games. So I believe he can do it. I know he can do it. Get us in the playoffs. And I feel like he going to show y'all some of the playoffs. He going to show y'all that like I said, I think the Jaguars, we're going to demolish the Texans. This is a statement game. They came and beat us 37-17 in our home. Now everybody talking about they're the team to beat. Everybody talking about Stroud. Everybody in my Jaguars, we thrive when we the underdog. That's when we thrive. So keep talking about them. Let talk about them. Talk them up all y'all want to. And that when we just gonna come in and shut y'all up. We gonna make a statement. I think Trevor gonna have another one of these type games. Calvin Ridley balled. We see when Zay Jones is back. That's when Calvin Ridley splashes. We got to get him going when he ain't there, but I feel like he splashes because Zay Jones is that deep threat, so you got to have eyes on him, and when eyes are on that deep threat, that opens the door for Calvin Ridley. Calvin, let's get into his numbers. Calvin Ridley had 7 receptions, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 beautiful throws from Trevor. By the way, I mean, just all around great game. Defense played great. Derrick Henry had accounted for a total of 44 yards in that game. I told y'all last week, I don't see why he would come back. I mean, I wouldn't come back if I was him. So, like I said, yeah, that sets us up for first place game, Jaguars versus Texans, for first place in the AFC South this Sunday. I wish that game would have been flexed to a 4 o'clock game. I wouldn't even put it at 8. I put it at 4. It should have been a 4 o'clock game. So, yeah, let's look into the standings now. So, with the Chiefs' loss to the Eagles, that brings them now to number 2 in the AFC. Ravens are 1 at 8-3. Chiefs 2. You got the Chiefs, Jaguars, Dolphins all tied with 73. Browns are also 73. So, yeah, I mean, thank you, Eagles. We needed y'all to put a loss on the Chiefs. Jaguars, like if you look at our remaining schedule, I think we can win out, man. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. I feel like if we lose another one, it should be the Ravens. But at the same time, we need to win that game. That's going to be a playoff-like atmosphere. What is that, Sunday night? Sunday night in Jacksonville, home game. All eyes on us again. Can they do it against good teams? We haven't done it yet. Can we do it against good? I don't want to hear the Bills. They're not on that echelon this year. Can we do it against the Chiefs? Can we do it against the 49ers? Can we do it against the Ravens? So that's a big game for the Jaguars come Monday night. So I feel like if you look at our remaining schedule, Sunday we got Stroud, who's a rookie. Then we got the backup for the Bengals. Then we got a rookie backup in DTR and the Browns. Then you got Lamar. Then you got Baker in that Bucs defense, who everybody been shredding. Everybody want to talk about Purdy. Great game. We just saw CJ Stroud light that defense up. So then you get a rookie in week 6 and a rookie in week 7. So rookie week 6 and Bryce Young and the Panthers. Then we finish off with Titans and Will Levis, if he's still the quarterback at that point. Because his offensive line is trash. If knock on wood, I don't want nobody to get hurt, but they can't protect them. So yeah, if you look at our remaining schedule, we should be able to win out. I feel like we're gonna win. We're gonna win out. We're gonna end up 14-3. We'll see how the AFC shakes out. So this year I feel like this is the year, man. The Chiefs do not look good offensively. Chiefs defense really keeping them. Mahomes makes throws. I mean, if they make them catches, they win that game. But you got to take advantage of those. And the Eagles took advantage of it. Hurts wasn't all that, but the Eagles just somehow always find a way to win. Hurts did have that throw to Devontae Smith, so they just find a way to win, man. I think Jaguars. This is the year we got to do it, man. If you look at our remaining schedule, this is the year we got to do it, man. And then if you look at the other teams in the playoff picture right now, Steelers, Browns, Texans, backup. The only good teams I would say is Ravens, Chiefs, and Dolphins, and Jags. Other than that, you playing backups and a rookie. So this the year we got to do it, man. So yeah, let's get into college. Let's get into, I'm more so, we all things national, all things life and sports. I talk about everything, but I'm more Florida, Jacksonville based. So we got to get into FSU versus Gators. FSU versus Gators this week, man. Both teams lose their quarterbacks. Jordan Travis, I'm a big Gator fan, but I feel for him just from that athlete perspective, man. I know what it's like to you trying to get it going. You've been in college for a little minute, then you pop the shoe. It's all coming together. Everything's coming together. This is the year, and then you have an ankle injury right before your ACC championship, right before the playoffs. Now people talking about you shouldn't be it's. Then you got to look at his draft status. He came out in the statement and said he's done playing college football. I don't know if he's going to enter. I think he would enter the draft. I don't know why he wouldn't. But now you got to look at draft status. Now you got to worry about all this extra stuff that the injury just affects now. And it's sad, but it looked like that Dak Prescott injury. Seriously, that's when people thought that career wasn't going to be the same after that injury. So, but I feel like he's going to be good. Prayers to him. It just sucks from the athlete perspective to have that happen to you in your best season. I mean, it just sucks. Same thing for Graham Mertz. You were doubted. Get a lot of Gator fans. Me personally, I didn't have no opinion on it. I always tend to root for the underdogs. So I went from the bashing and be like, well, who is Graham Mertz? I said who is Graham Mertz, but I wasn't. He's going to suck and all that. Why did Billy do that? I wasn't that person because I know what it's like to be the underdog. I tend to root for the underdog. But you have a great season. You kind of shut the doubters up. Offense was good. It's that defense that's horrible. And then you get hurt before you had an opportunity to play FSU. And I mean, it's just sad. Both teams lost their starting quarterbacks, and now this game is just flipped upside down. But honestly, I still think it's going to be a good game. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a tight game. You had Max Brown, the redshirt freshman, come in for Graham, put up 10 in the fourth against a top 10 Missouri team. So, Billy got these dudes playing, man. For those of y'all wanting to fire Billy Napier, we got to stop this recycle of coaches. We can't fire coaches every 2 years. Look at your counterpart, Mike Norvell, how he brought Florida State to where they are now. You cannot just a year ago or not before the season, people had Mike Norvell head on a silver platter. So you cannot keep wanting to fire coaches because things don't pop that first year or that second year. We wanted to see improvement. We didn't really see it, but this game against Missouri, And let's see how they do against FSU, especially with the backup Max Brown. You got DJ Ladway recruit coming in at quarterback. We got stuff. Let's just chill. I know Gators standard, but he should not. Billy Napier's not going nowhere. Still think this is gonna be a good game. But at the end of the day, Florida State, they still have Trey Benson. They still have Jared Verse. They still have Kyilan Coleman. They still have Mike Norvell as their coach. So I still think FSU will win the game, but it's going to be a tough game. I will not be surprised if Florida wins it, though. I'm hoping for a Florida win because my dad is an FSU fan, and I'm going to talk massive trash if we win that game. I don't care if y'all got y'all quarterback, but let's get into these standings. So the big talk is now that FSU has lost their quarterback, should they still make the playoffs if they win out? Me personally, no. I do not think. Not here's where it gets tricky. The winner of Ohio State, Michigan is going to get in. So that leaves you a spot. All right, it's Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Washington, FSU 5. Okay. If a winner of Ohio State, Michigan is going to be Georgia, Ohio State, or Michigan, Washington, FSU, I think, would be the 4. Because one of those spots is going to get taken between Ohio State and Michigan. The winner of that is going to get in. The loser, I think, is going to get out. So that's where you're at. So if Florida State wins out, if Washington beats Oregon again and wins out, I do not think you put a Florida State over a Washington. I just don't. Because you got to look at Alabama as well if Alabama beats Georgia in the SEC championship game. So it's a lot that can shake up. But what I think the Final Four should be, if Oregon beats Washington, it should be Ohio State or Michigan, whoever wins that, because they'll be undefeated. If Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia should be 2 because they'll have a loss. So the undefeated team going to be 1. Georgia going to be 2. I think Alabama should be 3 because you beat the number 1 ranked team right now. And who I said, if Oregon wins, I think Oregon should be 4. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put FSU in with they quarterback, like without Jordan Travis. I think, yeah, you still got Kyilan them, but let's see how they play these last 2 games, especially like the ACC championship. But they don't play nobody. Like they ain't play nobody. Who is their best win? I mean, seriously, who is their best win? Then if Oregon beat Washington, you could say Oregon beat the number 4 ranked team. Who is FSU big win? I do not want to see a drubbing, a drubbing, because they playing a backup quarterback. I even with Jordan Travis, I still ain't think FSU would do nothing in the playoffs. That's me personally though. So if Alabama beat Georgia, if Oregon wins against Washington in their Pac-12 championship, it should be Ohio State or Michigan. The winner of that is 1. Georgia is 2. Alabama is 3. And then you could, however, shake out FSU, Oregon, Washington 4. But yeah, if Washington win, I think that should be 4. Oregon win, I think they should be 4. So yeah, now this is if Alabama wins. If they don't win, okay, then we can get to Georgia 1, Ohio State and Michigan 2. You could do. I'll probably do, if that's it. If Oregon wins, they should be 3, and then FSU 4. So the only time I feel like FSU should get in is if Oregon beats Washington, I think FSU is out. If Washington wins out though and Alabama loses, this is all predicated upon if Alabama beat Georgia or not. If Alabama beat Georgia, they end the 4. If they don't, then that opens it up for for FSU to get in with the Pac-12, Oregon and Washington. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah, those are the rankings. And then as far as like the other slate of NFL games, the other games, the Bears, y'all was up 26-14. You had in the fourth with 4 minutes and 15 seconds. How do y'all lose that game? Like, you go. How do you lose that game? Like, you let the Lions score twice with 2:59 left, and then again with 29 seconds left. You cannot lose that game. Like, then you got Justin Fields coming back. I mean, you cannot lose that game. But the Lions, that's what good teams do. They find a way to win. But I just don't know how they win that game. Brandon Staley for the Chargers has got to go. These guys are not playing for him. When they get to the point where when the team, you could tell the team is just they're not playing for you. He got to go. Everybody want to talk about Justin Herbert, but Keenan Allen dropped a touchdown. Quentin Johnson dropped the ball. Like, you can't. If they make those catches, it's a different game. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the head guys, somehow they just always find a ways to lose. So at that point, he got to go. I wouldn't mind Brian Flores as the Chargers head coach. I mean, you got Kellen Moore in there, get you a good OC. We can see with D'Amico, you can have a defensive-minded head coach with a young quarterback. I wouldn't mind Brian Flores in there. You got Kellen Moore as your OC. That defense is what needs work, which is shocking because Brandon Staley is a defensive-minded head coach. But yeah, get Brian Flores in there. He's a leader of men. Shake up that defense. We talk about how black head coaches, previous coaches, don't get second chance opportunities. Let Brian Flores get another opportunity. The game we just talked about it, Texans, Cardinals, they had, I don't know what that lad play was. Looked like Kyilan, you just threw it up. I mean, Cardinals had the opportunity to win that game. I thought the Texans could still potentially lose that game as well. But so now that shakes up for Jaguars Titans for first place in the AFC South. And then Bills beat the Jets. Zach Wilson sucks. I do not think the Bills are back because of that. We see Zach was demoted to the third string quarterback. That don't mean nothing to me. And then Chiefs Eagles, like, that was a big one. And somehow the Eagles just found a way to win. But if Valdez-Scantling catches that ball from Mahomes, they win that game. Like, I mean, they can't be had this year. That wide receiver core is horrible. That defense is what Chiefs defense is the cream of the crop for that team, which is shocking when you got Andy Reid and Mahomes. But yeah, then you got Kelsey fumbling at the goal line, Buddy dropping a touchdown pass. I mean, it's just uncharacteristic things from the Chiefs and they're still 7-3. People talking about the Travis Kelce and the Taylor. I thought it was a joke, but at the end of the day, I mean, is it a distraction? Seriously, like, is she gone on tour, not able to be at his games? You know how it is. I mean, I'm an athlete myself. You know how it is when you got somebody to come and watch you play. You playing your best. You trying to show out for whoever you got watching you. So I thought it was a joke, but I mean, when she ain't there, it's like, I don't know what's going on with Kelsey, man. But he's not washed though, but he's declining though, seriously, which is understandable. He getting older. Now lastly, let's get into my fantasy football update. So I ended up winning both leagues. I won my Jaguar league and I won my money league. My money league, I lost 2 in a row. I came back. We back on track. We back right.